Ramble.
Good morning, everybody. Some exciting news happened this week that we'll definitely dive into. Ariel. And what is everyone up to this morning? I am sipping on a lavender latte. It's not anything super fancy, but I like to make myself feel fancy by putting some lavender honey into my latte in the morning.
Wow, that is very fancy.
My coffee shop will do like rose lattes too. So I was like, let me do something fancy for myself at home. Turn myself into a little barista.
I love that.
How was everyone's weekend?
Mine was good. We watched a lot of, we binged, what was it called? Love on the Spectrum.
You got me into it.
Yeah, it's a new dating show on Netflix. It's in Australia. And it's about I think there's maybe eight or nine people who are on the autism spectrum. And they go on first dates. They go to a dating coach. It's just so interesting. It was a really good show. And it's only 5 episodes, so super easy to get into.
Yeah, I'm on episode 2 after you told me to get onto it. And it's super sweet. And it just gives more insight on how other people approach dating and other things that they have to do in order to get comfortable doing that. So it's really good exposure for them and education for all of us.
Yeah, I feel like it's a perfect cross between my most wholesome show, Great British Bake Off, and The Bachelor, my trashiest show.
Very good comparison. I like that. Yeah.
I'll have to get into it. You said it's on Netflix?
It's on that main page right now.
We're doing house projects and stuff. So my parents have been living with us for the last 3 weeks. And so we finally got our guest house done, which is awesome. So they have their own place. Ned and I have our own space. But we've been doing a ton of house projects. So last night, Ned stained our deck. He just we cleaned it and then we restained it because it's starting to look like sunburnt and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, we're finally getting that done.
You guys are rock stars. The fact that you had that done, I feel like the last time we saw it, it was just rods and wood and now it's completely done and someone's living in it. Wow, you guys are quick.
I know. Well, I mean, I can't take much credit for the actual building of the guest house. It's I really had no part in the building of that. I was just sort of watching out the window being like, I wonder what they're doing today. Actually, it's been kind of great during quarantine. They kind of come every day and they work in the back, and it's been really satisfying to watch the whole thing get done because they started basically on March 15th, which was right around the time that we started quarantine, in earnest. Mm-hmm. And so this has sort of been a quarantine project, and we've just sort of watched it happen. And I think it's kept both Ned and I a little bit more sane because we feel like there's we're doing something when we're not actually doing anything. But I mean, obviously the big news this weekend was that we announced our pregnancy.
Yay!
I know. It's so exciting. It's so exciting. I mean, obviously I told you guys a while ago because I'm already 20 weeks and, second pregnancy, it's tough to hide it after 12. Yeah.
We're halfway there.
Maggie, do you remember how Ariel told us?
I remember when she first told us, I think I was looking down or something and everyone started screaming and I was like, what? And then Ariel was like, I'm pregnant. I was like, ah! So exciting. But basically we were in the boys' office and Ariel told us in the morning of when we were trialing our podcast and it was so exciting.
I feel like it was harder to tell this time because the first time Ariel got pregnant, we were all, it wasn't quarantine. So we knew no Chardonnay in hand.
At your wedding.
But now there was no way to tell. So it was like, are they?
I know. Well, I mean, your wedding was when we were early pregnant with Wes. And you knew immediately, even though I tried to hide it.
So she was like, she said she was drinking a cocktail or something. And I was like, Never in my life have I seen Ariel Fulmer get a cocktail willingly, be given a free cocktail, certainly, but never go up to the bar and order one. She's a glass of wine lady.
Always the white wine.
The alcohol is the number one tell.
Yeah, Becky had like 5,000 things going on that day, but she still smelled her.
I know. She found me in the middle of her wedding and she's like, "You're not drinking."
Why aren't you drinking
like,
wine?
What? Yes, I am. I'm totally drinking.
I was like, I remember Keith and I were like eating, you know, when you say hi to everyone and then you go sit back down at like your little private table and scarf some food. I remember we were like eating the mastacholi and I was like, I think there's going to be a baby. I can just tell. I think there's a baby. And Keith was like, okay, crazy lady.
Oh my God. As if you didn't have enough to think about that day. I tried really, really hard to hide it. But you're so right. You know me too well. I was like, yeah, I have a gin and tonic. Look at me. You're like, girl.
I know. You need to start switching to more like carbonated alcoholic beverages so you can throw people off. You know, you need to throw one in there every once in a while.
I just love white wine. I just love it so much.
What has been like the thing that stood out the most between last pregnancy and this one?
Oh my gosh. This pregnancy is completely different. It really, really is. I mean, they say like, I feel like everybody says that every kid, every pregnancy is different. And it totally is. It's, I'm like way more tired. My lower abdomen is a lot more sore. I mean, it just feels different, but it's also like actually Ned sort of reminded me the other day. I was like, you know, it just feels really, really different. And he's like, well, now you kind of know what you're feeling and like everything isn't new and exciting anymore. You know, like before it was like, oh, I'm having like a pain right here. How fun for me. Like I'm pregnant, you know, and now it's like, oh, I have a pain. I am so pregnant. But no, it's been good. It's just really the being tired and being at home all the time. It's easy to kind of get sort of wrapped up in being tired because you're not, you know, out at work and you're not on site for whatever thing and just like pushing through it. You can kind of be like, I'm gonna just lay down for a second, if that's okay. You know?
How is it having a toddler and being pregnant? Because that's the new part.
I think that also adds to the exhaustion.
Yeah.
100%.
It's completely different. Speaking of toddler, I can hear him running around the hall. Yeah, I mean, and also having a toddler at home all the time. You know, he's like constantly opening doors and looking for us and he's very verbal right now, as you guys know. You guys have all seen him.
Banana.
But he also he can like formulate full thoughts, and so he'll be like, "Mama, where are you? Mama, what are you doing?" And I'm like,
so cute.
Excuse me, I'm taking a poop right now. Like, give me 1 minute. You know, so we're working on the concept of like privacy.
Oh my gosh.
You know. Yeah, I know. Because he'll come in and he'll want to look, and you're like, okay, Wesley, I understand that you want to see this, and I will give you 1 look, and then you need to give Mama privacy.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not sure. Like, you know, should I just let him stay in there and see? Like, is it like a learning experience, or do I have to set a boundary? You know, I don't actually know. We haven't decided yet.
We knew you guys were trying.
Yes.
You were very open about that. We were at a party at the Fulmers, I think all of us, and Ariel was like, take the wine. We can't have it in the house. Take it with you. I think I left with like 4 bottles of wine.
Was it the Super Bowl?
It was.
Super Bowl party?
It was the Super Bowl party.
I remember that too.
Guys, do you remember parties?
Yeah.
Pre-quarantine.
Remember parties.
Parties
Barely.
were fun.
So was getting pregnant the second time around just as easy, a little more tricky?
I haven't told you guys this yet, but I actually got some news last week. Baby is fine. Baby is absolutely healthy, big, moving. But you guys know I had Wes early last go round. he was 4 weeks early. I had him at 36 weeks, which is just barely on the cusp of being early. And my mom has always had late babies. And so this was completely unexpected. We like, this is something that I have never had any experience with in my family. You know, there's no like family markers or anything like that. And so this time they, since I'm going to be 35, this go around, it's a geriatric pregnancy, which, you know, means that, I get all these, like, I have to have all these extra tests and everything. But also I had Wes early. And so I have to have a bunch of extra tests for that too, because they don't want me to be early again. And so, last week we were doing an ultrasound and, they checked the length of my cervix, which, I don't know if this is TMI, let me know if it is TMI, but, the cervix is the part that's like at the very bottom that basically holds the baby in. And like a normal size cervix is probably somewhere between 3 and 5 centimeters for like somebody who is at 20 weeks and active, and you know where I'm at, and mine is at 2.4. So the part that is holding the baby in is slowly getting smaller and smaller and smaller too soon. And so basically they're saying that I will probably have another early baby. And that if I get to 36 weeks, that will be a feat of my body. So
wow.
I know it's a little scary.
Did this happen?
I can't lift anything.
Yeah.
Well,
did it happen last time? Did they ever find out why you were so early? Yeah.
So there was no reason to check last time because I didn't have any like markers for it. And, and so it could very well have happened last time. And that's why I was early. That I just have like an insufficient cervix or something like that. But, they did check for it this time, and yeah, so, you know, and the doctor did actually say, she was like, you could do nothing and you could get to 36 weeks just like you did last time. But so I have to go on this medication that makes me even more tired, actually.
Oh.
And are you on bed rest?
Not bed rest yet. I have to go back this week, and they're going to check to see if it's shrinking even more. And if I get to like under 2 centimeters, if I get close to 1 centimeter, then I definitely have to go on bed rest, because at that point, like a sneezing fit could put me into spontaneous labor.
Right.
Oh
I know. That's probably a like an exaggeration, but you know, she was like, you have to be really careful once it gets low, you know, once it gets too small.
Is it hard that Ned can't go in with you, so you have to like remember everything that the doctor's saying to reiterate it to him, or do you guys like FaceTime? How do you deal with that?
Oh my gosh. It is so hard. It is so hard. I mean, last time Ned was going to every single one. He loved the ultrasounds. I mean, the ultrasounds are the best part because, you know, you can feel the baby, but you can't see them, and you don't really know they're there. And especially like this kind of early in pregnancy, like still in the second trimester, I don't know, there's not as much like movement that you can feel and experience. And so those ultrasounds are like your window into what your baby's doing. And they're just so fun. And so doing that by myself, I know that Ned is really missing out. And so during the really big ultrasounds, I'll FaceTime him in. But during the just regular doctor's appointments, yeah, I definitely have to remember what the doctor says. And I'm always like, do you have like a handout or a pamphlet or something that I can take with me so that I can remember all of this?
I know you've always been queen of taking notes.
I know.
I
know. I tried really hard to take notes this time because there are so many things that now, like, she was like, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. And I was like, can you like type this out for me so that I can like put it on the refrigerator and just tell everyone this is what I can't do.
Right.
Because of course, you know, like I said, we're right in the middle of a bunch of house projects. And I mean, you guys know me. I'm lifting furniture all the time. And
Not anymore.
not anymore. That's right.
Oh, ma'am.
Oh, you know what I told my doctor? I said, okay, so the baby's due in November, and we're planning on moving into the guy's new office in November. And so I said, I have this huge install happening in November, where I'm going to want to be moving furniture, and I'm going to want to be in there. You know what the doctor said? She said, if you're still pregnant in November, I think you're going to be fine. And I was like, oh, that puts things into perspective.
In October.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, that certainly changed my perspective on things.
I love that your guys' timeline is kind of aligned with Try Guys. Like, boys' new business, Wesley, boys' new office, second baby.
That's so true. Completely unintentional, I assure you.
I'm super excited that the baby could not come soon. I don't want to say that. I'm like excited that the baby would be premature or anything, but I'm excited that we're going to have another baby in the like Try fam. But I'm also like kind of sad because I know I probably won't get to hold the baby.
I know. I feel like
if we think about how quarantine's going and the reality of COVID is that I don't know if we'll be able to cuddle the baby. I don't know if we'll be able to hold them. And I remember when you had Wes and we came over and he was like a little smush bean and you just held him and he took a little nap and it was so sweet.
Oh, you're the queen of baby naps.
I love them.
I think once Wes came over to the office and Ned and I interviewed someone and I just held him sleeping in my arms during the whole interview as if he was my baby. I was like, I will take this sleeping baby and conduct an interview of an editor right now.
Yeah, it's so sweet, but at the same time, it makes me so like nervous for you too, because I know Ned's not in the, doctor's appointments with you, and I don't know much about the, medical world and how they're handling pregnancies in this time of like being shut down. I know for a while, like the partners weren't allowed to be in the room with the person giving birth, and it makes me so nervous because I'm like, I don't want you to be by yourself.
It changes every day. I mean, I know some people whose partners were allowed to be there and some people whose partners weren't.
I'm sad that we can't throw you another baby shower because I feel like that very first one out of like our entire friend group, it was so exciting and such a pivotal moment for you guys. And I'm sure it feels not isolating, but it's such a happy and positive time that you want to share with your family and stuff. And I'm sure it's hard being away from everyone and being able to update people on a regular basis. And you have to adapt to like video calls and stuff like that, but
maybe we'll do a video baby shower.
Or we'll just like come and we'll do like a little like parade in our cars, and then Ned can hold up the baby like in the Lion King,
like in the Lion King.
Yeah.
I love
we can do a little drive-in baby
can this
movie
baby
theater.
Zoom?
We'll see. I mean, also, let's be honest, that baby shower for Wes was big enough for like 5 babies. That was such an epic baby shower.
But it was so funny too because you had Wes like right after the baby shower. I've never gone to a baby shower where the baby came like immediately. I was like, what? I thought there was more time.
The next week, I thought there was more time too. I mean, you guys know we didn't even have a car seat. We had no
car seat, which ended up being
home.
the test.
You got to do the car seat challenge.
It's kind of ironic.
Yeah.
So Ariel, were you guys trying for a while with this baby?
Yeah. I mean, we were trying for, we were probably trying for at least 5 months. It's funny to talk about trying because you're basically talking about having sex. But
You sure are.
Also, I was reading.
We were trying.
I was tickled by the comments. I was like reading your baby announcement comments, and someone like posted like Maggie ... I know what you did, and it just tickled me. I was like, oh my God, don't put that in her announcement. But it really tickled me.
I know what you did.
I know what you did. We know.
We know, Ariel. We know what you're doing in that bed.
In that bed behind you.
Trying.
This bed.
Yes.
I mean, our shooting studio now is has been said on camera many times, where Wes was conceived.
Oh my God.
That's where we work.
Is that something you think about when you're shooting in there?
No. It's we think about all kinds of other stuff now.
Oh,
but
thank
in
God.
the beginning, it was mentioned several times by like Keith, Zach, Eugene.
It's where the magic happens,
funny.
both Try Guys and other things.
That's right.
And
Everyone's got
babies.
great energy, you guys.
Well, you said you were trying for a little bit, and Rachel and I mentioned that we thought you were pregnant at the Super Bowl party when you were giving away wine.
Right. When was the Super Bowl? Was that in November?
February.
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 Oh,
Ned would
well,
be outraged.
Oh my God. Ned
know.
would be so upset with you for
if he thought
sorry.
if he knew you thought the Super Bowl was in November.
I don't know. He tells me when the Super Bowl is, and I'm like, cool, let's have a party. Party? Yes. Well, that's because we were pregnant in February. And then we lost it. We had a miscarriage in late February. It was an early term miscarriage, which actually is incredibly common. And nobody ever, I mean, not nobody, but a lot of women don't talk about their miscarriages. And some women don't even know that they have had a miscarriage, especially if they're really early on in their pregnancy. Maybe they are trying or not trying, and and maybe they didn't take a test that week, and then their cycle comes back completely normally a week and a half later or something like that, and they're like, oh, I guess I was just late, but it turns out that they were pregnant and then had just lost it really early, and that's pretty much what happened to us. But because we were trying, I was taking tests, and so we found out that I was pregnant, and so we got really excited and planned our whole lives around this baby who was going to be born probably in September. And then we were in New York for like 5 days or something like that, and I just sort of was like, this is not normal, and I was then, yeah, and then we found out that we had lost it, and I came back and went to the doctor, and she was like, yeah, it looks like you had a baby and now you do not. But it's actually I have, from a lot of the mom friends that I have, I would say at least 75% of them have had one miscarriage.
It's
Which
really common. Many of my friends have had them.
Yeah, I mean, the ones that a lot of people talk about more are the late term miscarriages, the 20 weeks, 17 weeks, when you're already in your second trimester and maybe you've already felt the baby, and those are absolutely devastating. But the ones that are even more common are those early term miscarriages, which they happen at 7, 8, 9. Oh, it's okay. I mean, it happens. It absolutely
happens a lot. I think
Yeah.
if you are a woman with close woman friends in an age where people are trying to get pregnant, then people who have had miscarriages.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think in the era of social media, you're just used to seeing people it seems like everyone gets pregnant easily and yay, healthy baby. And then followed by like cute nursery photos. But the reality is a lot of people do have issues getting pregnant or struggle with miscarriages, but we're not as likely to share those moments just because we're used to only sharing the positive. So I commend you for sharing your story.
Well, Ariel, when you first told us that you were pregnant, the time that Maggie was talking about in the office, that was also the first time you told us about the miscarriage. And I have had a few friends that have had miscarriages, but we've never like deeply talked about them. And I feel like it was, the way that you told us was, we're pregnant and we're all really excited. And then we started asking questions and I was like, oh, and actually we also had a miscarriage back in, February. but did you feel like you had to compound the two things together? Like you had to tell us sad news, but have a positive with it?
Yeah. It's funny. It's all one journey for me. It's definitely, there's definitely an element of like when you don't want to just text someone and be like, hey, guess what? I had a miscarriage, that's just, you don't usually approach, difficult news in that way. And so, yeah, I guess I felt like I felt more comfortable talking about hard news, when I had good news to share as well. And maybe that's part of the reason why many women don't talk about miscarriages, is because it's difficult for people to handle. They don't know what to say. It's a loss. And it's really, really, I think it's certainly difficult for me to talk to other people about loss and, sharing that experience. And so, yeah. I mean, talking about the pregnancy, like the whole experience of getting pregnant and, having a little bit more trouble than we did last time and having a miscarriage. It was all one big experience for us, I think.
And I think that's why so many women wait until 13 weeks to tell family, friends, and coworkers that they are pregnant, because it's so hard to have that information so public that you were trying and then that you lost the baby. And that can be hard news to share with a lot of people.
Oh, totally. That's a really good point. Because we told family, I think, right when we found out. And that was one of the hardest things about having a miscarriage, was having to share it with people that we had already told that we were pregnant.
Yeah.
I think Ned and I could have dealt with it personally, between us really, really well. We probably would have been sad together and but then, it would have been a little bit easier of an experience if we hadn't been so excited and told a bunch of people. Yeah, that was tough.
Was it hard? Because I feel like being in the public eye, and also because our family lives are in the public eye now too, with a lot of the quarantine vlogs that we've been doing. It's definitely been, more comments about our lives from people. Was it difficult seeing the comment that I think we all get a lot, which is, are you pregnant? When are you going to get pregnant? She looks pregnant. Was it hard to see those comments popping up when you were going through this privately?
Totally. Yeah. It all happened. It all happened sort of in the span of 3 months, the trying, miscarriage, and then actually getting pregnant. I have stopped looking at a lot of the comments because I find that it's easier to deal with difficult things when you're just dealing with it on your own, and I used to, before I got pregnant with Wes, I would see comments like, oh, is she pregnant? She looks pregnant. And I would be like, come on, I thought I looked really good in this. Maybe I was a little bloated, but this outfit is slamming. So, give me some credit here.
Can we just say no one should be saying that about a woman in the public eye or not ever?
Right.
Ever.
Right. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that.
No.
Nobody wants to hear that they look pregnant. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we've all heard it. Maggie, Becky, you guys have definitely gotten your fair share of those too.
Yeah, I've never looked at my belly that intensely before. I was like, wait, am I?
No, you didn't think that.
My mom read comments once and it was a lot of them were saying that. And my mom calls me and she's like, hey, are you? And I was like, Mom, no.
Don't you think I would tell you?
Yeah. was like, I just have like chronic bloat and food baby, you know? Got to keep it real over here.
I also like, sorry, we don't have 6-packs, guys. Like, my bad.
I know. Like, I'm a human. And
sorry.
yeah. Normal sized woman over here. I like to wear, I don't know, clothing that fits. Sometimes it's tighter than, you know, like, and you can see what's going on inside my stomach.
And it's all about angles. Like, I feel like just based on like where your swimsuit hits, you can like look curvier and like thinner. Just, it's all angles. Like, you can take like the same photo and stand a different way and you'll look completely different. It just doesn't.
I started
100%.
following this gal. I don't know. I have no idea what she does, so I'm not a good follower. But she posts pictures in like bikinis and workout clothes in like daylight and then compares it to like taking a posed picture, and she'll show like cellulite, rolls, every like thing that everyone already has, but they don't see. And she's like incredibly fit. But she's like, look, this is me when I first wake up in the morning and I'm turned this way and I'm standing on my tiptoes and my, you know, boobs are pointed out. And she's like, and this is me after I have breakfast and I'm standing in sunlight and
After
you know,
I have
this is what a human body looks like, not an Instagram filter. But I feel like following accounts like that have helped me deal with people on the internet being not so nice.
I need to get better at that. I need to get better at like just accepting what the photo looks like and what I look like and being like, this is me. This is what I look like, and you can accept it or not. Sometimes I just agonize over putting things on the internet and having it just be out there. It's tough.
I think that's super common, right? I think we all look at photos and agonize.
I feel like it's also like a thin line of what we share because, you know, you were going through all of this privately and now you're going forward with it more publicly. So, you know,
Right.
It does open up this sort of Pandora's box of other people's opinions,
Right.
even
Yeah.
though they're not
Yeah.
giving them straight to you. They're in the comment section or whatever. Or,
Yeah.
you know, I think it's a hard line to be like, well, I want to share because I want anyone else who's going through this to know that other people are going through it, but also opening up the door for strangers to make comments on your choices in your life and your body and your family. It's tough.
Right, absolutely.
It's a hard place to be in.
I think sharing is so brave.
Absolutely.
I was just going to ask, like, after your first miscarriage with back in February, what sort of resources helped you and Ned get through? Like, how did you react? And like, what sort of things helped you? Because I know probably in the moment you panicked and like, as you were saying, you had trouble telling people like around you what had happened, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you only told people.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Very few people we told, you know, right when it happened. I mean, having Ned kind of just be there on the journey with me was one of the strongest, you know, supporters I could have had. You know, the two of us, we definitely had moments where we would just kind of look at each other and just be so sad about just, you know, not so much like not so much about the situation, but just about the feeling of grief and the feeling of loss, and just sharing that with each other. You know, but one of the best conversations that I had was when we were in New York and we were visiting a friend who has a daughter who's a little bit over 1, and I told her right then, I was like, I'm pretty sure I just had a miscarriage. You know, I'm at like 7 weeks, and I called my doctor the other day, and you know, she said that I'll have to come in, and so, you know, I was expressing that to her, and she looks at me and she was like, oh, I had the same thing happen to me before I had my first kid. And I was like, what? Like, I didn't know that. Like we're you know, we're relatively close friends. And so we had this conversation about how did you not tell me? How did I not know that? I'm so glad you're sharing this with me now, because that's exactly what I needed to hear. I needed to know that somebody knew what I was going through, Mm-hmm. And that was just great. She told me, you're going to be fine. You're going to get pregnant again. It's not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. And my doctor said the same thing. I have a great doctor who I followed to a different I gave birth at USC last time, and then she moved to another hospital, and I followed her over there because I just like her so much. She's so down to earth, and just, it's, she knows what I need to hear. And that is, she actually, when I came in after the miscarriage and she had seen the ultrasound, and she said, yeah, you did have a miscarriage. She was the one tearing up, which, like, I know she's my doctor. She probably deals with this every day, but she knew how much we wanted a second kid, and how much we had been trying, and
I'm happy that you felt that you had the support that you needed at that time.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it can feel very isolating when people around you are having babies and you're seeing it online and you're struggling to get pregnant. I'm sure that situation can feel really isolating for
Absolutely.
people.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to reach out. I think any problems that people are having with pregnancy, with infertility, miscarriage, there are other women out there who have been through the same thing. And so I'm of the opinion that we need to talk about it and share. You guys can hear, you can hear Wes down the hall.
I can totally hear him running.
Ariel, is Wes excited to be a big brother? Does he understand? I couldn't tell from the video if he understood or if he just thought your belly was nice.
Yeah, I know, right? I honestly can't tell if he really understands the concept either. He has a little baby doll that he plays with, and he holds, and he puts it in a little bed. And so I think he understands the concept of oh, baby, so cute. And I know that when he sees, or actually when he would see June and Poppy, when they were really little, when they weren't walking, and he'd be like, baby, when are we going to see baby? So I think he understands the concept of a little one, but I don't think we're quite there yet with the sharing of your things and sharing of your parents, and this baby's going to, be here and be a sibling to you. You're not going to be able to just put it away and go back to having your parents all to yourself. I have this feeling that he is going to get very, very jealous. I know my kid.
Probably.
And I just know that he's not going to want to share anything. He's kind of an attention hog as is, as you guys know. And so I can just imagine that when Ned and I are doing something else and he wants our attention, he will take whatever we are doing and throw it. And he'll just be like, you're not doing that anymore. You are paying attention to me. And so I just imagine that I'll be nursing a newborn, and he's like, excuse me, I need some attention now. And, he'll start pulling at the newborn. We'll see. Aww. It's going to be nuts.
It'll be a work in progress. It's going to be fun.
Yes. Yeah. We're going to have to work really hard.
Have you started thinking about names, and have you asked Wes his opinion on names? Because I remember when my mom was asking me what I should name my youngest sister. Isn't that weird?
What did you say?
I remember, I don't remember the reasoning, but my mom was going to name my younger sister Macarena. Not even joking. It was between
The Macarena?
Macarena. She liked the name. And I was like, huh?
Cute.
Ivana? I think she asked me and my older sister. Yeah, I think I wanted to name her after an ice cream flavor because, ice cream was good and I was 3. Yeah.
Sounds right.
Hey everyone, sorry for the little tech note. My microphone died towards the end of the podcast, so for the rest of this episode, we'll be using the Zoom recording. Apologies again, and still trying to get this all figured out.
How did you decide on a name for Wes, and have you started thinking of names for future baby?
Oh, we have started. We have started thinking about it. It's so hard because we're going with the same criteria for Wes's name, which we really like the one-syllable names. That you can kind of give him a nickname, like, Wes.
Built in.
Wes. We were very close to just naming Wes. And then when it came to writing it on his birth certificate, we were like, oh, we should really give him like a full name. Right?
Isn't it wild that you can write whatever you want on a birth certificate and they will name a child that? I've never felt so powerful in my entire life.
I'd feel so nervous. What happens if I spell something wrong, or I don't know?
There is somebody sitting at a computer who enters these into the system. And if they get it spelled wrong, it is wrong for the rest of their life.
And then when they want to book an international flight, ooh.
But yeah, we have started thinking about names. There's a lot of names out there that okay, so you guys will probably have this problem too, where when you go to name a child, there are a lot of people that and a lot of associations that you have with certain names, and that makes those names off limits. Yes. But my sister's dog's name is Michael, and so it's like you can't, those names are off limits. Or if you're a really good friend, if your friend has told you that what they're going to name their kids, and you then you're like, oh yeah, I really like that name, and you can either choose to snatch it from them, or
you can't
be a really good friend and let them have it, which I haven't had a friend yet tell me a name that I was like, ooh, I really, really like that. I'm so sorry, but that is now mine. No, I haven't. I have not had to do that. And I hope I wouldn't. I hope I would be a good friend and not take their name.
Yeah. My sister-in-law's baby name list included Penelope, nicknamed Poppy. But she gifted me the list. She was like, you can use any of these. And I saw it and I burst into tears. And I was like, I'm taking one. So she gifted me the whole list.
Wow.
I know.
That is generous.
It is.
And did you and Ned agree?
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
We sort of agreed. I mean, with Wes, it came down to the very last minute. We're like, okay, we got to choose a name now. What does this kid look like? Because we definitely disagreed for a little while. Ned liked one name, I liked another name, and but one tip I have that Ned and I actually adhere to with Wes is do not tell anybody what you're going to name your child.
For sure,
name them that, because you could absolutely love one name and then you tell your mom, and your mom goes, oh, I don't know about that. And you're just devastated. And you have to, and then what do you do? And then you have to change your whole, it completely changes your thought process around the name. And so, but after you've named a child and then you tell people, nobody is going to be like, oh, I don't know about that. Nobody's going to do that. Yeah.
Right.
So
true. A good tip.
As much as everybody asks, you just have to kind of keep it a secret.
So were you gearing up to name the baby Bowie or Alfred, and those just got stolen out from under you?
Absolutely.
Bowie Fulmer.
Pretty cute name. What? I mean, Bowie's a really cute name too. Bowie, actually, we all have a friend whose dog's name is Theo. And I was
a
really
cute name.
into the name Theo.
So sweet.
But Ned said no. He's like, that's a dog's name.
The dog.
I couldn't imagine naming a human, considering it took us 100 years to name Alfred.
Did it?
Like the pressure of naming a cat was so overwhelming that it made me think like,
That's so
my God,
funny.
when we have a baby, we're going to just fall on the ground and not
What
know
were
we're gonna have to
your-
ask someone else.
What were your backup names, Becky? What did you ditch before you got to Alfred?
What did we do? So he looked very regal, so we wanted a British man's name, but then Keith really did not want a pop culture related name because I was like, what about, I did like Bruce, I don't even remember. There was some other Benedict. We were going to call him Benny, but he's like, no, I don't want anything pop culture. And then I snuck in Alfred because Alfred's the butler in Batman. Got him.
Deep pop
Got him.
culture.
But yeah, I could not imagine naming a human. The pressure.
It sounds, I know. I feel like the same. Zach and I have such different tastes in names, and but we had like a different name for the first month, I think. Yeah.
What was it?
What was
We
his
like
name?
fluctuated. Zach really wanted to name Bowie Luda, like ludicrous. And then we went through a phase where we were going to name him Boba, but Bowie's not the right dog to be named Boba. And we really liked Boba at the time. And
Boba's a cute pug.
I know, right? Or like a Frenchie. Yeah, but we went through a lot of names for him.
I feel like
Baloo.
this is a really good question to ask Matt because
Oh, yeah.
now they have 3 dogs and they all have such good names.
They
I
do.
always thought Pesto was the most amazing name for a dog. I was like, oh, why didn't I think of that? You know?
Yeah.
I also feel like their names fit their dogs really well. I do like Kimbop now being called Kimberly as like his
Kimberly.
thing. I think it is the cutest thing. Kimberly.
Well, it sounds like Boba and Luda are up for grabs still.
Yeah, you can take him.
Yeah, you know it's not up for grabs? Happy. Nobody likes Happy.
Happy Habersberger. That would have been a good name for a cat.
Bad name.
Happy Habersberger
No, for
is
a
a
human.
great name.
Please
I
name your
love that name.
firstborn
Maggie
Happy.
did not like it. Keith didn't like it. My
I
mom
liked
hates
it. I liked it. I would fully
Told me
support
that's what they
Happy.
call dogs. You said that was a dog's name. Lies.
Insults. Insults. I'm glad Maggie got a vote on the name.
I know, right? Becky will have me at the table when she names her firstborn. Be like, Happy.
Happy's coming back. I said I liked it.
Ariel, so you said you're going to be, more on bed rest this time than you were with the last pregnancy. What you gonna be watching? What's your trashy TV go-to?
Great question. Well, Becky, let me tell you, it's been tough to find a show that Ned and I watch together. Let's see. Right now, I never got to finish Too Hot to Handle. So, I don't know.
You're behind on Too Hot to Handle?
I'm behind on Too Hot to Handle. I've only watched like maybe 4 episodes or something like that.
I heard they're going to be, wait, is it them or Love Island supposed to be shooting again? I think they're like quarantining. And I heard that, I forgot which one it was. I think it might have been Love Island. I'm not sure.
That's hilarious. I've never seen
Stay
Love Island.
tuned.
Stay tuned.
Maybe that's one. I remember when Ned and I mean, I love those like, oh, Becky, I did watch that show Cursed. It was great. Ned and I were way into it.
Ariel was talking about Last Kingdom, and then it was like my phone was listening or something because I went home and I immediately got served an ad for Cursed on Netflix, which is like I immediately sent it to her. I was like, Ariel, I got your next show. Don't even worry about it. It's
Had you
medieval,
watched it,
there's
Becky?
Witchy. No. Keith did not like the trailer. He was put off by the trailer. He thought there was too much sexy sword fighting.
That's straight up Fulmer alley. Sexy sword fighting.
That's why I was like, it's sexy, it's medieval. Get it, Fulmers?
Get
It's
it.
your Outlander,
Oh yeah. I wish that all of our aren't all of our shows going to start coming back soon? You know, like we're going to get Handmaid's Tale back at some point.
I mean,
Are they shooting?
I hope
they
so.
finish shooting.
I know. That's really the thing is we're going into a like a desert. We're going into a TV desert because nobody could shoot during quarantine.
Well, they are shooting The Bachelorette right now.
Did you hear the tea?
Yes.
What? Tell me.
I am pumped.
It's crazy. So The Bachelor is currently filming. They were talking about doing a quarantine. So it's going to be a little different than previous seasons because they're not going to be traveling as much or at all. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently the new Bachelorette has been replaced. The word on the street is that she fell in love in like the first episode and refused to film. That was that's on the gossip blogs. That's not confirmed, but it's on the gossip blogs.
Did you see pictures of the guy she fell in love with on day one?
No, it was supposed to. It's the guy she gave the first impression rose to, I think, is what I read.
I saw. And I understand. He's beautiful. He's very
I would
beautiful.
quit the show too.
I'll text you right now.
Okay. Yeah. So they have now replaced her with someone from, I didn't watch Colton season, but it's someone who was on Colton season.
So are they going to air that one episode?
They said again, this is all a gossip blog, said that they brought back contestants that had previously been kicked off by Claire. So they had to have filmed at least like a couple for people to get kicked off.
And they're bringing back Tayshia, who is lovely.
Very exciting if it's true.
Ariel,
Maybe.
This is when you get on board with The Bachelor.
I think
your time has come.
Is this my moment? Is this my moment to watch The Bachelor?
35 seasons.
That is so
much to watch.
I'll give you some start with, I love JoJo's season. I thought it was such a funny season. Same with Hannah Brown's season. But for the longest time, Keith and I didn't watch Bachelor. We only watched Bachelorette. Something was creepy to us about like one man and like 35 women. But for some reason, it didn't weird us out that it was one woman and 35 men. But then one of my friends was like, don't discriminate. Like shitty TV is both male and female on The Bachelorette. Watch it all. And then we got Pilot Pete season. Don't watch that, Ariel. Don't waste your time on Pete. Pilot Pete. He's doing embarrassing things on TikTok these days.
He's on his like third contestant that he fell in love with, got engaged to. It's not good.
It's weird. It's a strange situation. And the season was just really boring in general. But we got into it on JoJo's season. So, and Ned might watch it with you because Aaron Rodgers' brother is on it.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for listening to this very special episode of You Can Sit With Us. You are always welcome to sit with us, and you can find our podcast on any of the podcast places like Spotify, such as Apple and other places. If you rate us 5 stars and leave us a little tidbit in the comments, we do read those, and we would love to use those on our pod. And you can always email us at youcansitwithuspod@gmail.com.
Are they allowed to send us audio messages? You know, like on radio shows where they like play the audio message. I like hearing people's voices. Is that possible? Yeah, send us audio messages.
They could
so much more personal
on the email.
And it's like they're sitting with us.
I love it. It's very NPR.
I like sending my friends text messages that way. So like I'll wake them up in the morning. I'll be like, good morning, it's Maggie. It's just so much more personal. Send us audio messages. I want to hear your voices.
Well, thanks, guys. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.